A guest on the Joe Rogan podcast just doesn't really think that the illegal immigration situation in New York City is all that bad. This is what he had to say.
Yeah, I think the perception of New York is a little weird.
How come that guy didn't go any further in politics?
No charisma.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, New Yorkers, we don't care about charisma with the mayors, really. We don't even know who our politicians are. Like, I just found out we have a female governor. I had no fucking clue who the governor is.
That lady's out to lunch.
I have no clue. But New Yorkers, we don't care. It's the mayor of New York City is the governor of the state. In our minds.
Right. That's the leader.
We just don't, like, you're saying what's going on here, and that's all that matters.
Right.
We're very, that's the only thing we really think about as a city.
Yeah. What is it like there now with the immigrants?
So here's the thing. New York is so diverse, you can't tell immigrants are there. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, if there's other cities that are like really homogenous, they're all white, and then all of a sudden a bunch of not white people come, you're like, oh my God, we got immigrants everywhere. But for a New Yorker to be like, hey, I think we got some immigrants here, it's impossible.
Right.
Everybody's an immigrant. Everybody's brown. Everybody's black. Everybody's Asian. Like, there's all these different ones.
Right.
The tricky thing with, you're talking about the migrant crisis, is that they're taking advantage of New York is like the biggest state in the country. It's like, I think maybe the only big city that has a right to shelter.
Right.
It's the only one of this size that has a right to shelter.
And it used to be for homeless people.
It's only for homeless people.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of a system that's built for homeless people, which is pretty fucking good if you ask me. When you have the financial hub of the world, you want people sleeping on the streets, you go, no, let's put some money so they can go inside. Like, this is, and homeless people are supposed to, like, basically enter in and out of homelessness. The idea is give them some shelter, maybe they can get back out on their feet.
Right.
The migrants hear about this and they're like, what, free housing?
All right, look, I don't know who this guy is. Like, apparently there's a comedian named Andrew Schulz. This dude, like, I am very curious as to how long he has been living in New York City. Now, look, I have been living in New York City in some capacity literally since 2008, all right? And everybody in New York City notices the illegal immigrant crisis that's going on in the city. And let me just break it down for you. First of all, you know, this argument, and like I said, I don't necessarily know what political leanings that this guy has. He's a comedian. I'm assuming that he's kind of like a limousine liberal. I'm assuming that he's probably trying to, you know, skirt the line a little bit because, you know, these people at a certain level of success, they have handlers and they don't want to be seen as far right, whatever. He doesn't strike me as somebody that is a New Yorker that has spent any extended period of time there. And if he does, he probably doesn't get out of one or two neighborhoods. And let me tell you why. First of all, New York, yes, has been very diverse, but he talks about the diversity of New York like somebody that is like a tourist. Like, oh, look, you know, the guy at my bodega is Latino. And then there's these African immigrants that are selling these really great shawls down there. Like, that ain't it, first of all. The difference with the illegal immigrant situation that's going on right now in New York City and the immigrants that have always been in New York City is that it is immediately noticeable in different neighborhoods in the city that some of these illegal immigrants have came in so much and that they are different from the illegal immigrants that have always been in New York City. I have seen, and I think I did something on this my last episode, these open air fruit markets in the city where you've got people selling fruit in the open air in New York City. That is, by the way, disgusting because there's bus smoke, there's cigarette smoke, there's like, it's really, really gross. And that's something that you did not see 5, 7, 8 years ago in New York City. You see a lot of these people concentrated in certain neighborhoods like Midtown West and the Upper West Side. Why are they concentrated there? Because my taxpayer dollars and the taxpayer dollars of others are going to fund these people's stays in hotels where they get room service, they get all of this other stuff. And then, by the way, we're spending tens of millions of dollars in New York City on preloaded debit cards so that they can have a little spending money, you know, walking around the city with. Maybe they'll go catch a show. You know, maybe they'll go catch The Wiz on Broadway. I hear it's good. And so there's all of that going on, which, by the way, was never happening before.